Good day everyone, I am Bukala Jane Mary, and for today's video I am going to discuss about the scope or the coverage of the LET or the licensure examination for teachers under Unit 7 Mock Let Exams and Review. So here is the objectives. At the end of this lesson, the pre-service teachers are expected to Identify the different levels and scope of LET. Construct a good plan out of the LET coverage. And Reflect on personal readiness to successfully pass the LET. The Teachers Board Exam, or also known as the Licensure Examination for Teachers, or LET, is a board exam facilitated by the Board of Professional Teachers under the Professional Regulatory Commission to assess the competency of Bachelor of Elementary Education and Bachelor of Secondary Education graduates. Here is the scope of the exam. For elementary teacher examinees, the general education is equivalent to 20%. Professional education, we have the Part 1 professional education, 40%, and Part 2 are the preschool education, the SPED, and the content courses, which is 40%. While for secondary teacher examinees, we have general education 20%, professional education 40%, and specialization 40%. Now let's go to the coverage of examination for general education. First subject is English. So under English we have study and thinking skills, writing in the discipline, speech and oral communication, Philippine literature, master works of the world. The next subject is Filipino. Under Filipino, we have komunikasyon sa akademikong Filipino, pagbasa at pagsulat tungo sa pananaliksik at masining na pagpapahayag. Next is mathematics. Under mathematics, we have fundamental of math, plane geometry, elementary algebra, and statistics and probability. Next is science. Under science are biological science, which is the general biology, and physical science, which is about earth science. Under social sciences, we have Philippine government new constitution with human rights, Philippine history, economics, taxations, land reform and cooperative, society and culture with family planning, Rizal and other heroes, philosophy, art appreciation or humanities, psychology, and information and communication technology. Now, let's go to the coverage of examination for professional education. Teaching profession, social dimension of education, field study and practice teaching, principles of teaching, educational technology curriculum development, field study, practice teaching facilitating learning, child and adolescents development. Last is assessment of learning, field study, and practice teaching. Now let's go to the coverage of Part 2 for elementary teacher examinees only. Under preschool education, we have the Cluster 1, Theories, Principle, and Concepts. Under the Cluster 1, we have the Introduction to Preschool Education, Characteristic of the Young Filipino, Preschool Curriculum, Introduction to Special Education, Trends and Issues in Preschool Education. For Cluster 2, the Content and Pedagogy, we have Creative Arts, Music, Drama for Young Children, Personal and Social Development or Play and Living Experiences, and Language and Numeracy. We have Science, Health and Nature Study, Classroom Management, which are the physical environment, temporal environment, interpersonal environment, preparation of instructional materials, and last is the technology in the preschool. Cluster 3 is all about applied courses. We have Observational Child Study, Assessing Behaviors of Young Children, Overview of Assessment of Young Children, Standardized Tests, Informal Tests, and Assessment System, Guidance and Counseling in Preschool Education, organization and management of children development programs, and home relationships. We have directed study in preschool, special education, introduction to SPED 1, introduction to SPED 2, SPED classroom management, organization and administration of SPED programs, behavioral management, guidance and counseling for children with special needs. We have psychology of children with special needs, inclusive education, curriculum for SPED 1, curriculum for SPED 2, preparation of instructional materials for SPED, physiological and physical knowledge approaches, and ICT and SPED. Movement, arts, and music for children with special needs, observational child study 1, observational child study 2, assessment of children with special needs, individualized educational program, home and family life of children with exceptionalities, effective communication with professionals and families, and research in SPED. 10 courses: English, Pedagogy, Filipino. Mathematics, we have Advanced Algebra and Trigonometry, Plane and Solid Geometry, Analytic Geometry, Problem Solving, and Pedagogy. Science, it includes here the health materials, mixtures and solutions, physical and chemical changes, animal, plants, interrelationships in the ecosystem. Social studies or social sciences pedagogy, values education or character education pedagogy, HELE or home economics and livelihood education pedagogy, and MAPE music, arts, P, and health. To pass the exam, each examinee must have an average rating of at least 75% and must not get a score below 50% on any of the tests.